Ceiling fan blowing cold breeze on your body. I can't tell you really what it is, but you got it. Makeup in the morning, you got dresses in your closet, but you grab them tight, you in love with being modest. You a mood body giving interviews. I'm just saying I'm amused.
All right, you guys, next story up. You guys, I am in such a sad mood today because Blue is sick. And I just cannot figure out what is wrong. And anytime that he is sick, it's like I still have PTSD from his surgery that I still haven't done the story time about, because for some reason it's hard for me to even talk about what we went through last year. That's how traumatic that shit was. And but I am still gonna do the story time, you guys. I am. Just let me get it together. But in the meantime, I told you guys a few weeks ago that he was having problems walking up the stairs. Now he can't walk up the stairs. And the doctor, when I took him a couple of weeks ago, they thought that it might have been arthritis or it had something to do with his hip. But now that I can definitely see that the pain has gotten worse, I can see that it's his paw. It's his back left paw. And you know, that paw is white. So I actually can see that it's kind of red. It looks inflamed. So I don't really know, but he is not putting that foot down. He will not walk up the stairs. He's 85 pounds. You gotta see us picking this damn dog up and bringing him up these stairs. I feel like I done threw my back out and everything. But with all that being said, it makes me upset when I know that he's not feeling well. I don't know what the problem is. We're going to the vet. He has an appointment, so I'm going to be taking him, and hopefully it's not anything too serious. I just hate to see him when he's like that. So it throws me off. So that's why this video feels like it's just sort of like the energy is not as high. But you know, Rocky loved the fact that you guys are here and you're going to help me through it, you guys. So we're going to get through these stories, okay? Next story up. Chris Brown, Teyana Taylor, Usher. I don't even know what to say about this story because they haven't said anything about this story. And I feel like when they haven't even made any type of comment on what had happened, then they obviously are trying to keep it out of the blogs and keep it from blowing up. Now, if you was watching the blogs at all this past weekend and that's all you saw was this fight that supposedly happened, let me just tell you what happened. So according to Hollywood Unlocked, Chris Brown was given a 34th birthday party by Usher. And, you know, Usher, even with all of the things that people have to say about Chris Brown, Usher has always been one that's been very supportive of Chris Brown. Okay, Chris Brown has made mistakes in the past, but Usher has definitely been in his corner and been one of those people that kind of championed him and tried to support him even when people had a lot of negative things to say. And so it was Chris Brown's 34th birthday. He was going to be in Las Vegas for the Friends and Lovers festival that Usher had out there. So Usher decided to give him a birthday party at a skating rink. So they were all there, celebrities and the such. And for a while, it looked like everybody was having a good time. You know, even when they sang Happy Birthday, we had Usher and Teyana Taylor actually singing Happy Birthday to Chris Brown. And we know that Teyana and Chris Brown back in the day used to call themselves best friends. And, you know, she's always been very supportive of him and vice versa. So, you know, it made sense that she was there singing and whatever. But as the night went on, we don't really know what happened because, like I said, they haven't spoken out about this. But there was some sort of confrontation with Chris and Teyana. It got so bad to the point where he said, no, fuck her. Like, fuck her. Okay. And he was getting into, like, I guess, you know, it was an animated, loud kind of talking. And, you know, Usher and them tried to stop him and his team. And Chris Brown got pissed and ended up leaving. Well, Usher ended up taking off his skates and going to Chris Brown's bus. So he must have had his tour bus out there. And they said that once Usher left the tour bus, he had a bloody nose. Now, we haven't seen pictures of a bloody nose. We did see Usher later on that very next day at his Friends and Lovers Festival. He didn't look like he had had any injuries. We saw Chris Brown, who also performed at the Friends and Lovers Festival the next day. Actually, they performed back to back. He didn't have any any visible scars or anything that would say that they had a scuffle. And like I said, neither one of them, and Teyana Taylor, who was also there, who was actually dancing to Chris Brown as he performed, in the crowd, when she was in the crowd, none of them have spoken out. So that's why I feel like, well, if they haven't said anything, and if they have a friendship that they feel like they need to protect this way, then why are we all worried about it? When we don't really know exactly what happened, then I think that it's kind of unfair to just put it all on Chris Brown. Now, when I first heard the story, listen, I was just like, why would Chris Brown do this to Usher out of all people? Like, Usher is so non-problematic. Usher had that little time when he was, having some problems in his relationship, and his health diagnosis came out, and him cheating on the women, when all that came out. But, that's Usher's personal relationship and what he had going on there. This here is just sort of like, why? I mean, you just don't think of anybody feeling like they got to fight Usher, of all people, So I was upset. And I was just like so disappointed in Chris, because I was just like, you do not need this type of exposure, especially when people are always trying to be in your corner and then something else happens. Okay, so I was disgusted. I was disappointed. But then I started thinking about it, and just like Lisa Ray said, now, part of me, the only reason why I thought about it is because of the fact that none of them have spoken out. So that actually means a lot to me, okay? It may have just been a misunderstanding amongst friends. But what ends up happening is, because Chris has such a violent, past, or, an abusive past when it's come to certain things that he's done, that's something that he's never able to outrun. So people automatically will say that it's something that Chris Brown did, when really it might not have been the fault of Chris Brown. And that's what Lisa Ray was saying when she was on her show, how people was just jumping to conclusions and basically just saying that Chris Brown was the one who was the reason why that fight happened. But we don't know that. Like, we don't know that because nobody has spoken out. Like I said, Chris and Usher and Teyana was all at the Friends and Lovers concert the next day. I'm sure they made a point to make sure that they all still was cool, and just hoping that story would go away. And it might be one of those, not as big of a deal, but just kind of the same kind of like fight in the elevator that the Knowles and the Carters had, in that elevator. We don't really know exactly what happened. We know something happened, but we don't know like why. Well, we saw the video, but we don't know why. So this might be another one of those situations where it's just a story that we ain't gonna never know, that was a story between them and they left it alone. But yeah, I guess it's not fair to just automatically chastise Chris, okay? When we don't know exactly what the story is. But I also will say that I don't want Chris to continue to put himself in situations where, because even after the concert, he was caught again getting into some sort of confrontation. Now, this one, they're saying he wasn't actually fighting somebody. He actually was trying to calm down whatever excitement was going on, because he had a child that was there. One of his kids was there, and he was trying to protect his child. Okay. But the way that it seems on the video, we just see him arguing and yelling and screaming with somebody, and we just automatically assume that this is Chris Brown going off again. That's not really fair. I will admit that that's not fair to just automatically assume that about Chris Brown. But, Chris Brown, we don't have these views of him just because. It's because of things that he's done in the past. But I thought that he was making an effort to do better, especially being a father of, of 3 kids and all of that. So I thought that he was making, and I still do kind of feel that way. It's hard for me to just really say what might have been, because we don't know the story. They haven't said, and they're not going to say. This is one that's just going to have to die away. So that's what it is as far as I'm concerned. You guys will have to let me know what you think about Chris Brown. I know there's a lot of people that don't like Chris Brown. There's always been talk about Chris Brown being, kind of going off the handle because he has drug problems. I will admit that in the past, I have thought that he's been on something at one time or another. I don't know if I still feel that way. He just seems like he had been doing better, but this is definitely a setback. Even with us not knowing the full story, you guys, this is a setback. Just because of the people that are involved, they're likable people already, so it's just not a good look for Chris Brown. But do you guys believe that he was at fault there? Do you guys believe that, Chris Brown has a drug problem, has a drinking problem, has an anger problem? I mean, these are things that we've discussed about him in the past. You guys, are you willing to bet that it's still a problem in 2023? Y'all leave your comments about that below.
Ain't even flexing. And you cool, tatted up, cover wounds, different vibe, you know it.
All right, you guys, next story up. Now, how about all that shit that we saw Neo? Okay, mama named him Schaefer, whatever his last name is. I done told you guys already. But, now, y'all know Neo had been broke up from his wife, Crystal, and then they got back together during the pandemic. He moved back home. They was close. They fell back in love. They ended up getting remarried. And right after they got remarried, we found out that Neo had fathered the child of another person, from another woman. And Crystal was over it. She finally said that she is not the woman for this man, that she was leaving him. They got a divorce that was finalized in February, I believe, of this year. They had some homes. I think that they had like 4 or 5 homes. They kept one of the homes each. I think he took the cars, but ended up having to buy her a car. I think he was going to pay $5,000 spousal support for like the next 3 years. He also has to pay $20,000 child support because they have 3 kids together. And she is now out of the picture and gone on with her life. Now, we had just assumed that him and the wife broke up, that he was going to be with the new girl. Okay, or one that he was having the affair with, because not only had they had the child, but she was pregnant again. Okay, so that is like you going back, like this is a relationship. This ain't just something that happened to break baby or on accident or nothing like this. Like this is really truly like somebody that you're involved with. So her name is Sade Bagnaris. They have 2 kids together. The new baby, now, Neo has decided to ask the court to make her take a DNA test to make sure that that's his child. He says that he knows that the oldest child, Braden Bagnaris, is his, but he ain't too sure about Brixton. And Brixton is the new baby. Did you guys notice that their last names, the kids' last names, is the maiden name of the girl, Bagnaris, and not Neo's last name? He is also petitioning the court that they change the last name of that first child. He said that that's his kid. And I'm assuming once they get the results of that second one, and if that is indeed his child, which Sade is saying he definitely is his child, and Neo knows that he is just being an asshole, which, I mean, we know from back when Manetta used to tell us about Schaefer, that he has asshole tendencies, at least. But she's saying, yeah, those kids are both his. I guess they're gonna take all the DNA tests that they want to. And now this look like this is gonna be another fucking child support that he gotta pay. He has 2 kids with Manetta. He has 3 kids with Crystal, and he has 2 kids with this woman here. He ain't with none of them. He now is saying that he is single, enjoying his single life, and that he's happy. Now, Neo, every time you see him, when the paparazzis catch him or something like that, he always look like he living his best life. He look like he don't give a fuck about none of these women. None of the feelings that he is, he just never looks like he's bothered by any of that. He seems very, very arrogant. And I guess Crystal put up with it because, that was her husband. She loved him, but I'm sure she knew that Neo had it in him honest. And now this new girl, Sade, is seeing for herself. Okay. You know, I was just like, nigga, you went through all of that, got the divorce, and was with the girl for a second just for you to break up from her too? I mean, maybe you just don't need to be with nobody. But quit making all these damn kids. And then he tell me the other day he didn't want no more and she got her tube side. And then he turned around and had 5 more kids. You got 5. Charlotte Neo is something special. And he don't care. Like, some people look like they acting, and then there's Neo. Neo don't look like he acting. He look like he's just fine with the way life is. He's rich, and he got all these women and all these kids. And you know what? Oh well. And the fact that that girl named them kids that gave them her last name, that ought to tell you. You ain't even trying to give your child a millionaire's last name who, you know, can do all of this for you. Then that right there ought to let you know that there's something wrong with him. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna move on off that story. Once we find out if the newest baby is his, then, you know, we'll add that baby all along to the rest of his kids that he got. And child, anyway, moving on.
You ain't even flexing, and you ain't gotta try too hard.
You guys, next story up. This story is actually just a real fast quickie, actually. Robert De Niro, 79 years old, famed actor. Okay, we've known him for 100,000 years and all of the classic Godfather and such. I mean, Robert De Niro is that man. Okay, we know that Robert De Niro loves the women. He actually loves black women too. He's had his kids, half his kids that he have is black, you guys. But the other day, apparently, Robert De Niro was on the red carpet for his new movie. What was it? About that man? It's a typo. It didn't come up here right, but I don't know what the show is. But he got a new movie coming out, and he was on the red carpet, and he was interviewing with Entertainment Tonight Canada that was on the red carpet. And the person that was talking to him casually mentioned, you know, you and your 6 kids. And he was like, oh no, he said, I have 7. And they were like, oh, do you? And he said, yeah, I just had 1. Okay, he said it very casually, very nonchalantly, didn't expound on it, but basically said, yeah, he just had a new baby. Okay, and everybody was shocked. Now, I don't know why y'all shocked, because I done told y'all plenty of times that these men out here can give the worms all the way to their dying day, honey. They still have sperm count up into their 70s, 80s, 90s. My best friend in junior high school, her father, she didn't even know her father. I think her father had died while she was like a baby or right before she was born. But her father was in his 70s when she was born, but she was a new baby to this man. So yeah, y'all, that Robert De Niro was like going and making the worm deposits to whoever now I don't know if he's married. I don't know if he is still married. I know that the last that I had heard, I didn't even look this up for some reason, but him and the black lady that he was married to, the last one, I know that they had gotten a divorce. So I don't know if he's gotten a new woman. We don't know anything about this new baby. We don't know age. We don't know gender. We don't know race. We don't know any of that. All we know is that Robert De Niro has him a new baby. And everybody was shocked. Child, I wasn't surprised. Because his youngest child before this one is 11 years old. So he had a child. He's had a child. He was almost damn near 70 when he had that last one. So this new one ain't surprising y'all. But yeah, that's the thing about men, honey. Men can still get out there and, you know, bust it wide open. Honey, I know ain't no woman 70 years old trying to have no fucking kids no more. So, you know, I'm sure Robert De Niro is getting the younger women and having these babies. But yeah, y'all, everybody was all shocked. I was like, I ain't shocked. When we done seen Robert De Niro with somebody, one of my Roxstars was like, wouldn't it be something if he was Naomi Campbell's baby's father? Okay. And I was just like, wouldn't that be something? I don't think that that's what it is. I know that Naomi Campbell, she didn't carry. She ended up having a surrogate. We haven't seen Naomi Campbell's baby in full, but what we have seen, we can tell that that baby is most likely mixed. And And I say most likely because I don't even know if they used her own egg or, you know, I don't know. She's been very quiet about that, so we don't know. But wouldn't that be something if it is? Because we know that Naomi and Robert De Niro years and years ago dated. But maybe they could have rekindled the flame, y'all. Y'all never know. And like I said, Naomi ain't never said nothing about her baby daddy either. I don't think that he's the father. But wouldn't that be a little something to the story if he was? But anyway, now that we know about the new baby, I'm sure we'll find out more about it as time goes on. But yeah, Robert De Niro was just like, honey, don't let the old man age fool you. Robert say he's still making it happen in the bedroom. Oh, nasty motherfucker. Your old ass up here hopping up and down on some young childbearing age woman. Nasty.
Got me think about inside the moss.
All right, you guys, next story up. So TigerWoods. Remember I told you guys a story about him being with this girl. What was her name? Erica Herman, I believe. Erica Herman, she met Tiger. She was an employee at his restaurant. Okay. And they met each other. He ended up liking her. They struck up a relationship. They started seeing each other. She ended up moving into his home. He had her sign an NDA, obviously, because he's a celebrity and she's not. Side note, isn't it interesting that Tiger Woods, the women that Tiger Woods ends up with, now I'm not one of them ones that, you know, be saying that certain people is on a certain level, and I'm not that person. Everybody is human. But it seems like Tiger Woods hooks up with women that ain't got shit to lose. Now, you didn't struck up this relationship with this young girl who is an employee of yours at one of your restaurants, okay? Made her sign this NDA. If they were going to be in the relationship, he made her sign the NDA. And if she didn't sign the NDA, she says that he told her that she was going to lose her job. Well, she ended up, I don't know how true that is, because they were in a relationship, you know. So I feel like she probably gladly signed the NDA because she thought that it wasn't going to be no issues. Then, of course, like all the other ones, okay, I don't know why she thought she was any different, but once Tiger Woods didn't want to have nothing to do with her, I don't know if it was because of her or because of him, but once he was through, she says that he tricked her and told her that he was treating her to a weekend getaway in the Bahamas with her friends. So she packed up, she left the house that they lived in together. She got to the airport and Tiger Woods had been sent this damn lawyer down there, and the lawyer told her that the locks was changed. She is not welcome back at the house, that she could not come back, and that she would not see Tiger Woods anymore. Okay, like she would never see him again. And of course, this woman had moved in with him, so all her belongings was there. Apparently, she didn't have keys, and if they changed the lock, she couldn't get back in the house. He wouldn't let her get to it. So now, and also the lawyer wanted her to sign a new NDA. She said she wasn't signing no new damn NDA. Okay, she want her shit back. She can't get her shit back. So now she is trying to get the first NDA thrown out, and now she is on the warpath, and she's saying that, I think originally they said that she was suing for $30 million or something like that. I don't really know what the $30 million entail, like why she feels that, but now she's saying that she was sexually harassed by Tiger Woods. At first, when she was saying that she was sexually harassed, she was saying that it wouldn't necessarily be by Tiger Woods. It may have been by somebody on his team, but now I think she is saying that it is him, and that's why she has brought forth this case, you guys. And I can't say I feel sorry for him, because I just feel like, Tiger, I'm gonna need you to get you somebody that, I mean, of course this girl is gonna come after you. She, you know, like, she worked at the restaurant and she fixing to come up on your stupidity. Charlotte, what is going on with them? I can't worry about Tiger and his women. I can't worry about Tiger and his women, because Tiger continue to hook up with the same types. And if you ain't learned by this time, you ain't never gonna learn. So Tiger on his own on that one.
Words cut deep, it's like a sword. Making me better, you hotter than pepper.
All right, you guys, next story up. This is also an update to the Tory Lanez case. So you guys know that he was supposed to go into court this week because he was going to get sentenced. But we had been seeing on social media, and we had been seeing talk from his defense team that they were going to ask for a new trial, because they felt like there were some things that was not admitted into the first trial that would have helped him. They felt like there were some biases against him. And so they were asking for a new trial. Superior Court Judge Hereford, I believe is his name. I got so many typos on here, you guys. I guess I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, he was the judge that was presiding over this. We had Tory Lanez in there. Mama named him Daystar Peterson. We had his father in there, Sunstar Peterson. We've had his family and his friends in there in court. And Tory Lanez's defense attorney, who is a new attorney. This is not the one that lost the original trial. This is a new attorney who is saying that the original attorney, so Tory Lanez had 3 attorneys now. The first attorney ended up dropping out right before they were about to go to trial. He ended up getting this second attorney, and the second attorney, they're saying, did not have enough time to properly prepare for the case with all of the things that were going on. And so that is why they're saying that attorney ended up losing. Well, Tory ended up getting a new lawyer, who is this lawyer that he has now. And that lawyer argued, they said that the man basically begged the judge to give them a new trial. Apparently they had a whole big presentation planned that they were going to give to the judge and give to the, so that they can try to get this new trial. They had all of this shit planned. And then when they got to court, the judge didn't let them use any of it, didn't let them admit any of that, to the point where the lawyer for Tory Lanez tried to get the judge disqualified. That didn't work. The judge didn't allow them to add anything new. The judge said, you ain't getting a new trial, and that he is going to be sentenced. So now they're saying that he's going to be sentenced in June. I don't know that date. But he faces a minimum of 9 years, up to 22 years for this gun charge. Now, of course, Tory Lanez's team is doubling down on the fact that he didn't have any prints on the gun. And remember, the gun residue was non-conclusive, so they couldn't for a fact say that he had shot the gun. However, Tory Lanez has a problem with the fact that he's been found guilty when something like that, as crucial as having prints on the gun, was not there. I mean, I think it's clear he didn't have any rubber gloves or anything covering his hands on, so why aren't his prints there? So that is one of the big reasons why they were trying to get a new trial, but the new judge was just like, absolutely not. Okay. Apparently before the judge made that decision, Tory tried to appeal to the judge and said, please don't ruin his life. Please, I could be your brother, I could be your son. Now, he said this kind of not while they were in trial. He was actually being escorted, I think, back to the back room. And he said that kind of out loud to the judge. The judge didn't respond. They didn't have any other conversation. But Tory Lanez was desperate to get that, get the judge to hear that he wanted him to, give him a new case. Well, they're not giving him a new case. So now he is just waiting on sentencing. 9 years is a long time. Like, I didn't realize that that's what he was looking at. But the judge said, anytime, or the DA said that anytime you pull out a gun and you point it at somebody and you shoot them, then that's, grounds for like serious jail time. And 9 years is a long time. I thought that he was just looking at a couple of years, but 9 years, that's a long time. So I think that everybody as far as Tory Lanez is concerned, his camp, his family, his friends, his legal team, I think everybody is concerned, worried that this boy, you know, is about to be in jail for a long time. And he also can be deported, you know, from the United States because he's from Canada. This case is still out there, but I think it will be, we won't hear much about it again after they sentence him, because I think that this judge has stopped it from going any further, and I think that this is it. Or maybe they can appeal. They probably will appeal, but I don't know, you know, if he's going to get anywhere with that. In the meantime, he's going to be, like I said, he'll be sentenced in June. I don't have a date, but I'm sure it'll be in social media, so I'll let you guys know when it happens.
You with a big stepper who chasing a cheddar. All of these women, they not on your level.
And then lastly, you guys, your girl Beyonce, okay, Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter kicked off her Renaissance tour. It's a worldwide tour, kicked off in Sweden yesterday. If you was anywhere on social media, then you saw the pictures. I saw Kevin, the Scorpion. He had said on his Instagram that he was not going to see he wasn't going to watch any videos of you know, he wanted to be surprised when Beyonce finally does start her North American leg of this tour, which starts in July. And I was like, good luck with that. I mean, it hadn't even started yet when he posted that. And then yesterday, all day, I mean, I saw the concert. I think Alex was even streaming it live. He had found somebody that was streaming it live. And then so Alex started showing it live. And it was all, I mean, everybody was posting it. They done told us what she was wearing, who was the designer, all of this, you know. Kevin was saying that he hadn't seen anything from Janet Jackson's concert, so he felt like he could do the same with Beyonce. And I was just like, I mean, maybe you can, but it's going to be a lot harder. Beyonce has, I mean, Janet Jackson has a huge fan base as well. But I feel like Beyonce's is her social media presence. Like, I feel like everybody is going to be posting it, and it wouldn't be the same for Janet. Like, I feel like Janet's is more like a nostalgia type of tour. I don't want to say old school or nothing like that, because it's definitely not on that level. It's on a much higher level. Okay, Janet's tour is a big tour as well. But I mean, it was proof. I've only seen a couple of videos of Janet Jackson's, but I hadn't seen a million of Beyonce's. And that was just one day of concert. You know, the fact that she hasn't had a concert in 6 years, or hasn't had an album, in 6 years. The people are excited and they're posting everywhere. So I was just like, okay, Kevin, I mean, you know, I would like to have said that I was going to wait and be surprised for the concert too, but no, I'm not. We done already seen what she wearing. Okay, we done seen what she doing. We done seen the dancers. We done seen everything. I mean, we haven't seen everything, obviously, unless you were watching the whole concert streamed. But we have seen a lot already from this concert. So I think it's not going to kill the excitement, though. I mean, you know, it's something about being in that presence, in the space, you know, when you are actually in the stadium and watching the music and all of the extra that's going on around you. I mean, it's the excitement of the whole experience, you know. So even me seeing what happened, it's not, you know, that's not a deal breaker for me. It's not like a spoiler. But it's gonna be hard if you're trying not to see anything from her concert. Then you need to really for sure be off of social media in this next week, because you know, when it first starts, everybody be excited and then the excitement kind of dies down. But I don't see the excitement dying down really. So I kind of feel like Kevin gonna see it one way or the other. Now this concert, they're saying, is going to make Beyonce the highest grossing concert in history. She is scheduled, they think, to make somewhere around $2.1 billion. This is from sales of the tickets and her merchandise. Okay, she has 52 scheduled shows across seas and also here in North America. And yeah, she is going to be paid, you guys. Currently the record for the highest grossing concert is with Elton John. He had his farewell Yellow Brick Road tour that went 2018 all the way up to 2023. He just basically just finished that. He made $853 million on that tour, but he had 293 concerts. So Beyonce is working less, making more. Okay, ain't that the American way? Okay, they even said that she's going to make about $600 million more than Taylor Swift is expected to make on her also very huge tour that is going on this year as well. There's a lot of tours going on. People are starting to get back out there, like the big stadium tours, because you guys know COVID had us in the chokehold, y'all. We was scared to get in anybody's damn stadium. All them fucking people. Can you imagine how many people would have been sick? So, yeah, good for her. Taylor Swift is expected to make about $1.6 billion. So still, I mean, this kind of money, can you imagine? My goodness. And she has her Eras tour. And then, of course, like I said, Janet Jackson has her tour. They haven't put out the numbers. Hers isn't as high as that. But, yeah, big tours going on. But did you guys see the pictures? Did you guys see the videos? You see how good she looks? She looks great. She definitely looks like she is maturing, though. You know, she looks great still. And no hate. That body is right. Everything. But you can tell that if you are a true Beyonce fan, you can tell that as she has gotten older, her voice has gotten deeper. Like some of them high ass songs that she had when she first started and when she was with Destiny's Child and all that, she don't sing as high as that no more. Now it's I mean, she can still do it, but it's not a continuous high all the way up there high. Okay, sister done brought it back. Sister done brought it down a little bit. Okay, now it's a little sultry. It's a little sexy. It's a little deeper than it used to be. Okay, and to me, I like to see these kind of things. I like to see a person that is aging gracefully, still look great. You know, she still has to be out there, so she gonna do whatever the work needs to be done to make sure she looks great. But you know, you know, Beyonce in her 40s now, you know, and still able to do what she do. I'm excited about the tour. It's coming here in Atlanta in August, so me and Miss Jada will be at that concert. But good for her. And this is a big, because they said that the tour that she went on with Jay-Z, what was that? Not Run the World. What was the name of that tour? I can't even think of the name of the tour. On the Run, yeah, I think it was On the Run. On the Run tour, they said she only made like $260 million only, but compared to this, $260 million. Okay, so this is a big deal. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? How many of y'all got y'all tickets? Y'all going to the Beyonce concert when it comes here to the United States, or if you overseas? Are you going to see Beyonce? Hell, did I have any Roxstars that was at the Sweden concert yesterday? Y'all leave all that below.
You like a mix of business and pleasure. You a move body giving interviews. I'm just saying I'm a mute.
All right, you guys, let me get off of here. We do this every single week, so make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back.
But you ain't even flexing. But you ain't even flexing.
Until next time,
but you ain't even
Roxstars.
flexing.
Bye.